So we'll begin standing up, taking a few breaths. And even just as we stand here, let's just ground down through the feet. So the middle of the heel and the pad under the toes. And then even pushing down a little bit into the pinky toe. Let your arms relax wherever they wish. And let's just start with the breath. And so big breath in through the nose, and we'll let the first couple out through the mouth. Just start to move a little bit. Now look down at your feet. I just looked down at mine, and this happens to me all the time, where one foot, my left foot tends to be comfortable for me going out to the side a little bit. I'm just going to straighten it up, see how that feels. And for me today, and you may want to do this as well, actually let's just do some movement first, because we didn't do that yet. So let's just move. Still noticing your feet perhaps, where they go. Look, my right one went out to the side as soon as I moved. So that's habitually how we move, right? Nothing wrong with it. So let's just start by swinging the arms. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Let's bring the arms up. Stretch, stretch, stretch. One side, the other. Really, any way you wish to move. Come down. Give it a little shake. Give the body a little shake. Big breaths in, big breaths out. And we'll come back now to what I was going to say. Let's just grab our block today. If you don't have one, no big deal. Just a book or something would do as well. Just going to be here for a second. I want you to take the block and just put it between your legs. So I'm bringing my hips now about my feet hip width distance apart. I'm looking down, making sure they're nice and aligned. Just noticing how you feel like this, okay? So make sure your weight is not hanging over your toes. Put your weight back in the heels. Feel all of those three corners of the feet, pushing down. And now with the block between our legs, just notice how your knees feel, how your legs feel. I like to almost do a little bit of pressing in, kind of like I'm rotating the feet out without moving the feet. So it's almost like my knees come out. I'm just squeezing the block very slightly here, okay? So I'm not clenching, just holding the block here. Again, kind of like your feet are just turning out without them turning out, okay? And just breathe here. Big breath in, big breath out. And we're going to bring the arms overhead now. Inhale, bring the arms up nice and slow. Exhale down. Inhale up. We'll do that 3 times. One more. This time I'm coming down in prayer in front. Exhale, come down. Hands by the side. A little tick-tock with the neck. I'm tucking the chin in so slightly. And then a little tick-tock with the neck, left to right. Staying with the breath. Slowing down. Noticing if you're doing this, if you're holding tension anywhere else. And then we're going to do full circles with the neck. So I'm going to start by looking over my right shoulder, and then I'm bringing more of a stretch into the front of the throat. I want to really be compressing the neck and the back. And then coming to look over the other shoulder, and then coming down. Move with the breath. Okay, I'm starting and going the other direction. Big inhale is coming up. Chin reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, the last one. And bringing the head up to neutral. And now we're just going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down. So the shoulders coming up towards the ears, and then the shoulder blades squeezing in the back and moving the shoulders down. And one more. Squeezing the shoulders, moving the shoulders down. Now in the other direction, you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, move the shoulders up towards your ears and down. Staying with the breath. And one last one. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so arms are relaxed. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Move now the shoulders up towards the ears and around and down. Take a big breath here. And now we're just going to squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears and drop. Take a breath. And one more. Squeeze the shoulders up and drop. Bring the arms now nice and wide. Wide. Reach the arms back and then bring the arms down. Now we're going to bring one thumb on top of the other here, like you're going to pull the hands apart and bring the arms up. Only come up as far as you can without thrusting the ribs. And now hands come apart, arms come apart, and now you're really pushing the arms back towards the wall behind you and feeling the shoulder blades come together, and then arms moving down by your sides and other thumb on the top the next time, and we're going to do this again. So breathe in, inhale, come up, exhale, really push the arms behind you to come down. See what's going on. You may start to bring your weight forward. Make sure that you keep the weight or the weight of your pelvis back, not hanging over your toes. Continue this movement, interlocking the thumbs, coming up. Exhale, release, pushing the arms back. Change which thumb is on the top. And exhale, come down. So you're really trying to keep the ribs down as much as you can. The difference being when you come up, I don't want you to be coming up like this, okay? So my thumbs are together, and it's like a slight, like I'm pulling the arms apart and coming up, releasing, and now really pushing behind me to come down. One more of those. Up. Pull behind, and release, release, release. Take this block now from between the legs. See how that feels. Another breath. Now take the block between your hands, keeping that beautiful posture that you've just maintained. And this time we're going to push the block. So we're pushing the block with our palms and pushing in. Shoulder blades are together, right? Pulling the shoulder blades together. And then as you push into the block, I want you to take the block, if it's available to you, away from your bum and just keep pushing and breathing here, pushing with the hands as much as you can. And release and shake that out. Take a breath, relax your face, relax the abdomen. And again, taking the block, push, 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 and then taking the block away from the bum. If you can't take the block away from the bum, or if it doesn't move very much, it's no big deal. We're just all have different capacities here. And if you can get your arms way out, maybe you should start to bring them in a little tiny bit if you feel like you're very hyper flexible there. Push, push, push. And release, give it a shake. Come back to the breath. Do it one more time. Take the block, push, 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 pull away. Ooh, it's a lot of hard work. Some breaths. And release. So obviously we're doing a lot of work in the shoulders this morning. Great exercise for opening the chest. These are great things to do if you sit at a desk a lot during the day. So come back to your breath. Take a nice big inhale, expand the lungs, feel the ribs expand. Belly releases on the inhale, exhale. Everything kind of comes back in towards your center. Okay, so again, we're taking the block this time, same thing, but we're gonna pull the block apart. So you're gripping the block, pull the block apart, and again, move the block away from your bum. Breath. Don't forget to breathe. Relax the belly here. And remember that sensation between the legs when we had the block there. And if you want, you can put another block there and release. So if you want, you can take a second block and just put here to just help you maintain that nice standing posture. Makes it feel a lot stronger. Coming back again, okay. Pull apart that block, come back to the breath. Lift. Feeling the shoulder blades coming together. Breathe. Pull, 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 pull. Stay with your breath. See if you can do easy breaths while you're doing all of this exercise in the shoulders, and release. Give it a shake. Come back to the breath. Notice how the shoulders are feeling. Notice how the chest is feeling. One more time. Taking it back, pull apart, pull, 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 and now reach. Pull, keep pulling. I'm trying to release the belly, release the muscles in the face. Pull, pull, pull. And release. How does that feel? Put the block aside. And maybe just some shakes with the arms. And maybe a few internal, external rotations with the arms. So just really getting some mobility, internal, external in the shoulders, seeing how that feels. So my arms are just by my sides. And just internally and externally rotating the arms. I'm coming closer, bringing my arms closer together. And then wide apart. Staying with your breath. Look down at your feet, see what's going on. Okay, let's do a couple more big reaches out to the side, arms up. And now we're gonna reach with one side, nice side stretch here. So just reaching with the other. Reach with both arms, exhale, come down. Now clasp the hands behind. Reach the hands down towards the floor. And now, if you want, that might be just good. If you want, if it feels good to you, to bring the arms behind you again. Away from the bum, go ahead. And then release. And now take the arms forward, and we're just gonna come into a reverse prayer. So just taking the palms, you can start with taking the wrists, putting the wrists together, the back of the hands, and try to touch all the back of the fingers together, and even reach your thumbs out to the sides to press them together. And I'm gonna try to maintain this connection, and as I move the hands down, or the arms down in front of me, okay? So just moving down until the wrists start to come apart, the back of the hands start to come apart. And when I get to that nice sweet spot, I'm just gonna stay there and take a couple of breaths. Beautiful. So now we're gonna come down onto our hands and knees. Get a blanket for underneath your knees if you think you'll need it. And I'm just going to put my hands about underneath my shoulders and my knees underneath my hips. So you're making a nice tabletop here. Spread the fingers nice and wide. I'm really pushing out of my mat. And I'm just swaying my hips from side to side. So just a little bit of movement. Moving my hips from side to side, and perhaps you'll want to go in circles. So I'm just going to push my hips back, and I'm going to make big circles with my pelvis or my tail. And I have a person coming in, so I'm going to get up and get that. You guys keep moving. So on hands and knees, just getting into a little bit of movement. So honestly, this is whatever feels good for you. I have my toes tucked. I'm going to bring my bum back towards my heels, but I'm not going to drop my belly to the floor, okay? I'm going to make sure that my back is nice and straight. I do not have a rib thrust going on, toes tucked, and I'm just going to lean back. I'm just leaning back to where that I'm just hitting a boundary. I'm just going to stay there, respect that for now. Feeling some nice stretch in the shoulders as well. I'm just bringing my gaze down, so just tucking the chin a little tiny bit, bringing the gaze a little bit just forward or down towards the mat, between your legs, and come up. And I'm just going to come a little forward now, just a little bit over my shoulders. Still swaying the hips from side to side. Come back into tabletop. So the hands pressing into the mat. We're going to come into our rhomboid push-ups here. So rhomboid push-ups, if you were to just sit up, I'm using my shoulder blades to widen, and then I'm pulling the shoulder blades together. So if you wanted to try that first, I'm just moving, my arms are moving because I'm moving my shoulder blades apart and moving my shoulder blades together, okay? So we're gonna do the same thing with load, our body. So we're just going to push up. Shoulder blades are coming together. I sink down towards the floor. Push up. So it's just the shoulder blades doing the work, okay? Inhale, exhale. Move with your breath, okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale when you're down, shoulder blades are together. Exhale, push. Inhale down. Exhale, push. Inhale down. Keep going. Exhale, push, hold. Take a breath. Exhale down. Push up. Sorry, I had the breath backwards. Inhale down. No, exhale up, push, exhale. Inhale down. Shoulder blades together. Exhale, push. We're going to do 3 more. Very, very slow, guys. Inhale. Shoulder blades together. Squeeze. Shoulder blades apart. Push. 1 more. Okay, coming back into child's pose now. We're just coming back to what we just did, where we're just tucking the toes, keeping the back nice and straight, and just reaching our bum back towards our heels. I'm gonna reach my fingers out now. I'm not coming down to full child's pose here. So I'm just really reaching my bum back, stretching my arms nice, Getting a nice stretch in the shoulders here. Chin tuck. Inhale, exhale. Come up. Give that a shake. Okay, going to be working to tighten these small muscles going down the spine called the multifidus or multifidi. And to do this, what we're going to do is, and I think I'm going to release my blanket here, and it's up to you. If it's really thick, I'll just probably make it a little thinner. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Okay, first thing, really getting stable in our shoulders. Our shoulders need to be stable to hold ourselves here. So what we're going to do is we'll do that kind of wrapping that we do with our shoulders. So it's like I'm bringing, so to sit here and to get that feeling, I kind of wrap my arms around. And so I feel already there's this really hollowness in the armpits, and that's when you know that you have that stability going on in the shoulders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my right hand off the floor, and my right hand, left knee off the floor, just like an inch or so, just enough to get it off the floor. And now I'm going to release. Okay, so you have to breathe, release the muscles in your face. Try not, if you feel like you do need to brace your core here, remember when you brace, bracing is not a pull in, it's more of a push out, okay? Let's keep that in mind. I try to like relax my muscles here and just see what happens, okay? What engages. So we're just on the other side. You guys go ahead while I'm talking. So we're just holding, breathing here. And down. Other side. Breathe. Try to have nice, easy breaths. No need to brace. Shoulder nice and strong. And come down, trying to keep the body from swaying. So just moving to the other side now. Pushing out of the shoulder. Do not collapse in the shoulder if you can. You're going to move with your own breath, okay? I've just moved to the other side. But whenever it gets a little tricky for you, you move to the other side. So just moving with your own breath, your own strength. What feels good for you? What is good for you? Okay, coming up to the other side. Let the belly go. See what happens. The muscles obviously are going to engage. The reason why I say just let go, just because you may be clenching when you don't really need to be. And I'm switching over. Switching over. I'm going to hold, hold, hold. Easy breath. Do not clench the face. See what's going on. Are you clenching places you don't need to clench? Come down. One more on this side. And release. Shaking the hips side to side, coming into a child's pose. Let's bring each knee to each side of the mat. Toes meet in the middle. Bring our bum back. And if you want a pillow or something to rest, it's a great idea. Bring the floor up to you. And now I'm just going to come down into a child's pose. If child's pose is not comfortable for you or not good for your lower back, please come and sit up. Find just a place that you can just rest and breathe, okay? If child's pose is great for that for you, then go ahead. But know that child's pose is not always comfortable for everybody. And so it's not necessary. So rest, come back to the breath. A couple more breaths here. And on your next exhale, come up to all fours again. Let's just get a little bit of hip mobility. So just staying on all fours. And I'm just going to take, so again, nice stable shoulders. I'm going to take the leg out towards the side. My foot is down flat on the floor. If yours does not reach the floor, that's okay. Hands underneath the shoulders. And we're just going to do a slight rocking back and forward. So still trying to keep the knee underneath so I'm not falling over this way. I'm really just pushing the bum back, okay? Moving with your breath, remember, nice, easy, calm breath. Just getting a little bit of mobility in the hips here. Respect your boundary, move in ease, remember. Okay, I'm gonna bring this leg in and move over to the other side. And same thing, just moving back and forth. I don't want to be coming over this, I still want this knee to be over this, underneath the pelvis here, so straight line back and forward. So it's like I'm bringing the buttock here back to the heel of my right leg. Staying with the breath. I'll just do 2 more here. Beautiful. Come back up. And this time I'm going to just sit on my heels. So I'm going to bring my knees together, my heels together, my toes together, tuck the toes, drop the belly down towards the floor and walk my hands back. Stretch the toes out to the sides. And just coming here to rest, give the feet a little stretch. So I'm just wiggling back and forth. If it's too much weight on your heels for you, just take some weight off your heels. Okay, one more thing for on our hands and knees. If you need to give your wrists a little rub or a little mobility here, go ahead. Moving the wrists from side to side, back and forth. It's the last thing on our hands and knees. Still working a little bit of core here too. So hands underneath the shoulders again, nice wide hands, really pushing down and out of the floor. So we're not collapsing, just a slight push out of the floor. I'm tucking my toes, and this time we're going to do a knee hover. So we're just going to lift the knees off the floor, just a small amount. Breathe. Chin tuck, so you don't want your head just hanging. Tuck your chin. And release. Take a breath. Exhale, lift the knees. Hold. Breathe. And down. Take a breath, take a relax. And ensure when you come up, you continue to breathe here, okay? Relax the things that do not need energy, like your face. You do not need to squeeze your face to do this. And come down. And we're gonna do one more, okay? So just take a breath. And now your exhale. Come up, hold. Really great work for your shoulders as well. You may even want to do a little sway from side to side if that's available, or forward and back. And hold, 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 hold. And release. Come back into a child's pose or any kind of stretch that you feel like you need. I have my legs together for this kind of child's pose. I'm reaching forward, but I'm not putting my head down. I'm just keeping my ears next to my arms and stretching my arms forward and coming up onto my fingertips. Take a breath. Exhale and come up. And now we're going to just come down onto our bums. Grab your block. What happened to my block? There it is. I gotta grab my phone for time because my watch has got the wrong time. Okay. So, sitting on our bums here. And if you want, you can put something under your bum here if that's more comfortable for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into this kind of like a boat pose. Now, you don't have to come all the way back. You're basically sitting up with your legs bent, your feet. You're going to find what's comfortable for you here. And I'm just going to lean back a little bit while I hold on to my legs or be up behind my thighs. And this may be just enough for you to start here, okay? Just not letting it like hanging onto your thighs, but just coming back a little tiny bit and perhaps just a little support by holding onto your legs here. So just staying here, noticing, you're probably noticing that your abs are already doing a little bit of work on their own. Now, it may be possible for you to bring up one leg. So bringing up one foot, breathe and come down. Raise the other leg. And come down. Pick up the front leg. Maybe you can bring up two legs. And use your legs for support here, or your arms onto your legs as support. Or maybe not, maybe you could bring, it's been a long time since I've done this. You could bring the arms out as well. And then we'll come down. And maybe what we'll try this time, just for some fun, if you have a block, is we'll do the same thing. So we're just always keeping just a flat back, right? Leaning back a bit. Like I said, you may not even have to bring up your feet at this point. But if you're gonna go and play along with this, then you'll have to. So I'm leaning back and I'm gonna try to throw my block and catch it with my feet and then just pass my block. Okay, so you can throw it if you want. You can try to throw a block back with your feet. Now, if this is like no way for you that you can't do this, then lay down on your back and you can do it as well. So just laying down on your back, something under your pelvis, feet kind of up in the air, and you're basically throwing it up in the air. So maybe you guys can continue with that, but for those of you who want to try it on the floor, it's nice to have something under the pelvis here to raise your legs a little bit. And you're just going to throw it, catch it, or a little bit more ab work would be probably to reach up and grab it. Okay, so just choose your adventure here. It's probably enough now that we've done anyway. So I'll just do this one again. So I'm just sitting up on my sit bones, reaching back or tilting back a little bit, raising my legs, feet, and then catch. Catch. Woo. Catch and reach. Oh. Catch, reach, catch, reach, catch. Yay. Okay, so hopefully that was fun. I'm sweating. We're going to come down now onto our backs. So if you want to come down, continuing that boat pose and come down, you can turn around. So we can go in the boat pose and then just So we're in this bow pose again, and now this time we're gonna curl. So we're gonna start curling the pelvis under. The chin is tucked, and you're gonna see if you can go down very, very slow. Your feet are gonna wanna come up, don't let them raise, push them down. And now I'm gonna curl, get my pelvis curling, curling all the way down nice and slow. Trying to come down as slow as you can, slow as you can, slow as you can. So laying here on our backs for a moment. Coming back to the breath, palms up towards the ceiling. And just breathing here. So just noticing your weight against the floor. And letting your muscles relax. And letting any tension go. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bend our knees. And again, going to a little tiny bit core, but it's all fun. So shoulders are down. My shoulder blades are on the floor, flat against the floor. My ribs are touching the floor. All right, the backs of my ribs, small arch in the lower back. Arch in the lower back here. Knees are bent. And I'm going to put my hands, palms down on the floor for now. And we're just going to do the raise of the 1 foot. So raising 1 foot off the floor, but just 3 inches, okay? 3 inches. Now, notice what happens. You may even want to bring your fingers just inside of your hip bones there. And see when you raise the 1 foot, if you feel those TA muscles, the transverse abdominis muscles, kick in when you raise that foot, okay? So I'm just moving from side to side first. And if it's too much for your abs, if you feel like your abs are like really popping up and your whole like back is arching off the floor, then maybe not take the whole foot, just come up on the toe of your foot, okay? So you have a little bit more support there. So you're just continuing left to right. And then the next time you raise your right, I want you to keep that in the air and then raise your left. And notice what happens to your body. Okay, lower the right, lower the left. Lift up the left, and then lift up the right. Is your back arching off the floor? Lay down the left, lay down the right. And as you're bringing the foot up, so you go on the opposite now, right and then left. And I want you to notice, so if your back is really arching off the floor, it just means that your muscles are not able to hold your leg there. So you just need to come back to variation. So you just need to come back to the toe, come back. I mean, you can go one toe and then the other toe at the same time, or you could just come up on one foot, stay there, release, and then come up on the other foot. Or else you could take the left foot up, bring the right foot up, check out those muscles that they're engaged. And as soon as you feel like you've lost the engagement, it's time for you to just stop and rest, okay? So we're just coming over to the right and to the left again. I mean, really, you should be able to do it. To do this, breathe and talk. So that's kind of where you want it to get to. We'll do one more. Try to relax your shoulders while you're here, your face. And come down and relax. Reach out your legs, stretch through the heels, stretch the arms overhead. Big breath in, and just bring my arms out towards the sides, and I'm going to open my legs. And give them all a little wiggle, a little whole body shake. And what do we have for you next? This time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a block now down, so bend your knees, and then you're gonna put a block so that you can kind of, or even two blocks, if you have two blocks, even better. Maybe I'll write my other block. And put them side to side. Come down to your backs here. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to bring our legs up into the air as so. So making sure our ribs, our shoulder blades are on the floor. And now what I'm going to do with the legs up in the air, I'm going to keep this 90-degree angle and I'm going to bring the foot down to touch the block and come up. Okay, and bring the other foot down to touch the block and come up. So I'm not going like this, I'm just keeping the 90-degree angle, moving the leg and the hip, and then my heel is touching the block. So a lot of core work here this morning. Stay with your breath, okay? So take a breath in, exhale, down, touch, inhale. So moving with your breath, your own speed. Beautiful core work here. Take a break whenever you need it. Tapping one. Release any tension in your jaw, in your shoulders. I got my palms now up towards the ceiling, so I'm not clenching on the floor. And I'm just moving one leg and the other nice and slow. See if we have 5 more. Slow it down. Probably 6, just make it even. Last one. Ah. Now bring the feet down on the mat, and what I like to do is take the feet a little wide and then just drop my knees together. Take a rest, take a break. Take some nice big breaths here. Oh, wow, so we only have 10 minutes left. We'll do one more little core exercise, why not? It ended up being a full core class. So we're gonna take this block again, and I'm gonna reach it up and put it on my knees. We've done this one quite a bit, so I'm just putting the block on my knees here, and I'm just swaying slowly from side to side. So I have my block there because I don't want my block to fall off, and it also keeps my knees nice and level, which is what I want. So just coming back, little tiny, my pelvis is not really even reaching, coming off the floor at this point, okay? And just really slow rock side to side. Noticing what's going on with the belly, noticing if you're clenching a little bit more than you need to. And now I'm swaying, but now I'm lifting the pelvis off the side of the floor, so I'm lifting up. And then I'm coming down. I'm not collapsing down, coming down. I'm coming down nice and controlled. And now I'm coming up a little bit further. Don't worry if your block starts, it's probably gonna fall off soon. So I'm coming up, lifting the pelvis right off the floor. And that keeps the knees even as I come over. So I don't want one knee, like my bottom knee would come out maybe more than my top, and I don't want that happening. I want them to remain level. So I'm coming up, I'm lifting the pelvis now on my left side, and then slowly bringing it down. Same thing, lifting, pelvis is off, but the knees are level, and come down. And you can now start to come over where the whole shoulder comes off, but again, you really, so the block is gonna fall up, but if this knee is under the bottom knee, I'm gonna push the pelvis up, okay? And then come down. So see if you can see it on this side. So if I didn't pay attention, the bottom knee would come out further. I'm pushing the pelvis up so my knees are level and then coming back, okay? So move with your breath. Back and forth. Breathe in, come down. Exhale up. Inhale, come down. Exhale, other side. One more on each side. And relax, yay! That was a lot of core work. Okay, so we're gonna be getting right into Shavasana. But first I'm gonna just really stretch out the legs, reach through the heels. And relax the arms, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And I love doing this little rocks. I'm just rocking the toes back and forth, and the whole body gets a little massage on the floor. So any movement here that you want before you get into Shavasana, I kind of feel like, just moving my legs from side to side, perhaps bringing the knees up, out, reach the arms straight, and a nice massage on the lower back is nice. But honestly, anything that feels amazing to you right now, go ahead and do that before you come and prepare yourself for Shavasana. So really anything goes here. I'm not even going to tell you things to do. Just do what your body is asking for. And then we can get ready for Shavasana. So legs up the wall is nice for Shavasana. You want to give that a try, especially like a blanket or pillow underneath your pelvis is nice. Or just laying down flat on your back. Have something under the head if that's more comfortable for you. Having a pillow under the knees is nice as well. So getting comfortable. And relaxed. Come back to your breath, slowing it down. And releasing the space between your teeth, relax the jaw. And relax the eyes, and the forehead, the whole head, jaw, space between the eyebrows, released and relaxed. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And give your body full permission to let go and relax here for 5 minutes. Feeling the throat relax, the back of the neck, your shoulders, Moving down the arms into your wrists and hands, feeling energy releasing from the fingers. Perhaps feeling little tingly sensations in the hands. Feeling any leftover energy release out through your fingers. That feeling like you're letting it all go out through the fingers. And hold back, relax into the earth. The weight of your pelvis all around the hip, the buttock area. Feels heavy. And letting go of any unwanted tension in this area. Invite this feeling to move down your legs. Your legs feeling really heavy, but supported by the earth underneath you. Feeling any leftover tension release through the toes. So moving down into the ankles, down the feet, and out through the toes. Inviting the whole body now to just be. Notice your thoughts and let them know you'll come back. Notice the sounds. Notice the air. Notice any smells. Noticing how the back of your body is touching the floor. Notice the mind, the busyness of the mind. Not to judge oneself, just to notice, pay attention, and perhaps let go for now. Time to honor our bodies. Honor ourselves by giving ourselves much needed time and attention and love. Remember to the rest of the week to give yourself this kind of time to reconnect. To center yourself. Come back to the moment. And perhaps now, before I leave you, you can set an intention for the day. Be more present, perhaps. to take more breaks. Maybe an intention to just slow down a little today. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you need.